Vanessa Carter watched her daughter's hospital monitor flatline for 3 terrifying seconds. Doctors screamed, nurses rushed in, and Vanessa was being held down by 2 armed men. Why? Because she had just broken a billionaire CEO's enemy in front of the entire city. And now the Mafia wanted revenge. Her little daughter Emma was gasping for air. The same surgery Vanessa fought so hard to afford was being destroyed by people trying to punish her. But wait, that wasn't even the shocking part. The man standing beside the Mafia boss, smiling while Emma struggled to breathe, was Marcus Steele, the same fighter she embarrassed in 5 seconds. The same man everyone once feared. And before this night ended, someone was going to beg for their life. 3 months earlier, Vanessa Carter was exhausted. Not physically, emotionally. Life kept punching her harder than any opponent ever had. Her husband, Ryan Carter, had been dead for 2 years, killed during a military mission overseas. One phone call destroyed her life forever. One moment she was planning dinner. The next moment, she was identifying her husband's body. And everything changed. Ryan wasn't just her husband. He was her best friend, her protector, her safe place. Before every mission, he would kiss her forehead and whisper, "If anything happens to me, promise me you'll protect Emma." Vanessa would always laugh. She hated hearing that. But now those words haunted her every night. Their daughter Emma was only 6 years old when Ryan died, and Vanessa became a single mother overnight. At first, she tried staying strong. She worked as a waitress, then as a cleaner, then as a night delivery driver. Sometimes she worked 3 jobs in one day. She barely slept, but every night she still came home smiling for Emma, because Emma deserved joy, even when Vanessa was falling apart. Then life got crueler. Emma started collapsing randomly at school. She struggled to breathe. Sometimes she fainted. Vanessa panicked. Doctors ran tests, then gave her devastating news. Emma had a dangerous heart condition. She needed surgery immediately. The cost? More money than Vanessa could ever afford. Vanessa felt hopeless. Hospital bills piled up. Debt collectors kept calling. Eviction notices appeared. And then, one night, Vanessa found an old storage box. Inside were photos of Ryan, military medals, love letters, and something she hadn't seen in years, an underground fighting championship belt. Vanessa froze. Before marriage, before motherhood, before normal life, Vanessa was dangerous. She fought in illegal underground arenas. She was fast, aggressive, nearly unbeatable. She fought because she grew up poor, and fighting paid bills. Ryan never knew. She buried that life forever when Emma was born, or at least she thought she did. That same night, Vanessa looked at sleeping Emma in her hospital bed, then looked at the belt and cried because she knew what she had to do. She returned to underground fighting. At first people laughed. She looked older, smaller, rusty, and she was a mother now. But once the fight started, everyone stopped laughing. Vanessa moved like lightning. Her strikes were brutal, precise, merciless. She started winning quickly. Money started coming in, but it still wasn't enough for surgery. Then everything changed. One night after a fight, Vanessa overheard wealthy men talking backstage. They mentioned Billionaire CEO Ethan Blackwood. Apparently, powerful mafia groups wanted Ethan dead after he refused their illegal partnership deals. Ethan needed elite bodyguards. The salary? Enough to save Emma. Vanessa applied immediately. The next morning, she walked into Blackwood Security headquarters and instantly felt the judgment. Men stared. Women whispered. Some laughed openly. HR manager Linda Brooks looked annoyed. A bodyguard? She looked Vanessa up and down. "You're serious?" Vanessa stayed calm. "I need this job." Linda laughed. "You need a miracle." Then Marcus Steele entered, the company's top fighter, undefeated for years. Huge, arrogant, cruel. He looked at Vanessa and burst out laughing. "This has to be a prank." Everyone laughed with him. Marcus walked closer. "You're a mother." He smirked. "Go pack lunchboxes." The room laughed louder. Vanessa remained silent. Marcus leaned closer. What exactly are you protecting? That comment hit differently. Vanessa's expression changed. Cold, deadly. Marcus noticed, but ignored it. He challenged her publicly. If you survive 30 seconds with me, I'll recommend you. Everyone gathered around. Phones came out. They expected humiliation. Vanessa quietly removed her jacket, stepped into the ring, and looked Marcus directly in the eyes. Then whispered, "You should have kept laughing." The room exploded with laughter. Marcus attacked first. 5 seconds later, he was unconscious, flat on the floor, blood dripping from his nose. Complete silence. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Nobody understood what happened. Marcus Steele had never lost, and he got destroyed in 5 seconds. Then CEO Ethan Blackwood walked in. Tall, powerful, cold. He had watched everything on security cameras. He stared at Marcus, then at Vanessa. The room held its breath. Then Ethan smiled. Hire her immediately. Vanessa nearly cried. Emma's surgery finally felt possible, but she didn't know Marcus was staring at her with pure hatred. And later that night, he made one phone call, a dangerous phone call, to the Mafia, and he gave them 2 names, Vanessa Carter and Emma Carter. And that was when everything became deadly. Vanessa's first day at Blackwood Security felt unreal. For the first time in months, she wasn't worried about rent. For the first time in years, Emma's surgery felt possible. Vanessa kissed Emma before leaving for work. Emma smiled weakly from her hospital bed. "Mom." Vanessa leaned closer. "Yes, baby?" Emma whispered, "When my heart gets fixed, can we go to the beach?" Vanessa forced a smile through tears. "Of course." Emma grinned. "And can I run this time?" That question shattered Vanessa, because Emma had never been healthy enough to run. Vanessa kissed her forehead. "You'll run as much as you want." But she didn't know that promise was about to be tested. At Blackwood headquarters, everyone still whispered about her, the woman who destroyed Marcus in 5 seconds. Some respected her. Others hated her. Marcus hated her the most. He never looked at her, but his silence felt dangerous. Head Security Chief Daniel Ross began her training. Weapons drills, defensive driving, threat simulations, executive evacuation training. Vanessa dominated every challenge. Even Daniel was impressed. "You're better than half my senior team." But Vanessa noticed something strange. Marcus kept disappearing during work hours. Secret phone calls, private meetings, suspicious behavior. Whenever she got close, he walked away. Something felt wrong, but she ignored it. That was her mistake. Then Vanessa finally met Ethan Blackwood privately. He wasn't what she expected. He was powerful, but lonely, wealthy, but exhausted. Everywhere he went, armed security followed him. He barely slept. He trusted no one. Ethan asked her one question. "Why do you really need this job?" Vanessa hesitated, then told him about Emma, her husband, the surgery, everything. Ethan stayed silent for a long time, then quietly handed her a check. Vanessa froze. The amount covered Emma's surgery completely. "What is this?" Ethan looked away. "Advance payment." Vanessa shook her head. "I didn't earn this." Ethan replied softly, "You're earning it by keeping me alive." That moment changed everything. Not romantically, but emotionally. Vanessa began seeing Ethan differently, and Ethan began trusting Vanessa more than anyone. That became very dangerous, because someone inside the company noticed, Marcus, and he was furious. Later that night, Vanessa received a call from Emma's hospital. Doctors had moved her surgery date earlier. She had only 2 weeks left. Vanessa cried with relief. Everything was finally working. But wait, it got worse. That same night, Ethan attended a luxury charity event. Vanessa joined the security team. The event looked peaceful. Celebrities, politicians, billionaires, champagne, smiles. But Vanessa noticed something. A waiter was sweating heavily. Too heavily. He kept watching Ethan. Vanessa moved closer, then saw a gun hidden beneath the serving tray. Everything slowed down. The waiter pulled the weapon and aimed directly at Ethan. Guests screamed. Vanessa reacted instantly. She tackled Ethan. Gunshots exploded. Glass shattered. People ran everywhere. Chaos erupted. Vanessa fought the attacker brutally and removed his mask, then froze. It was one of Blackwood's former security guards, someone Ethan trusted. Before dying, the attacker whispered something horrifying. Marcus says hello. Vanessa stopped breathing. Marcus? That was impossible. Or was it? She turned toward Marcus. But he was gone, completely gone. And that was when Vanessa realized the enemy wasn't outside. The enemy was already inside. And things were about to get much worse. Marcus disappeared for 3 days. No calls, no explanation, no work appearances. Daniel claimed Marcus was handling personal matters. Vanessa didn't believe him, and Ethan noticed her growing concern. What's wrong? Vanessa hesitated, then told him everything. The waiter, his final words, Marcus disappearing. Ethan's expression changed immediately. He ordered a full investigation, but they found nothing. Marcus had cleaned everything. No evidence, no financial records, no suspicious calls. Nothing. It was too clean. That scared Vanessa even more. Then things got personal. Emma disappeared from her hospital room. Vanessa's entire world stopped. Doctors panicked. Police were called. Vanessa screamed at everyone. "Where is my daughter?" Then her phone rang. Private number. She answered instantly. A familiar voice laughed. "Marcus, you fight well, but let's see how strong you are as a mother." Vanessa collapsed. "What do you want?" Marcus laughed. "Quit your job. Leave Ethan unprotected. Or Emma dies." Vanessa broke down crying. "Please. She's just a child." Marcus became cold. "You embarrass me. You ruined my career. Now I ruin your life." The call ended. Vanessa couldn't breathe. She had 2 impossible choices: protect Ethan or save Emma. And then she made a decision nobody expected. She resigned immediately. Ethan was furious. "You're abandoning me now?" Vanessa screamed back. "My daughter is gone." Silence. Ethan froze. Vanessa told him everything. Marcus, the kidnapping, the threats, everything. Ethan's face turned dark. For the first time, Vanessa saw pure rage in him. He whispered, "He touched your daughter?" Then Ethan made a call and revealed something shocking. Ethan had criminal connections of his own, legal ones, dangerous ones, people who owed him favors. Within hours, they traced Marcus. An abandoned warehouse outside the city. Vanessa grabbed weapons. Ethan stopped her. "You can't go alone." Vanessa looked at him. "This is my daughter." Ethan replied, "And now it's my war too." That was the moment everything changed, because what they found inside that warehouse would expose a betrayal far bigger than Marcus. Vanessa and Ethan arrived at the abandoned warehouse just before midnight. Rain poured heavily. The building looked dead. Broken windows, rusted gates, no lights, too quiet. Vanessa hated quiet. Quiet usually meant someone was waiting. Ethan loaded his weapon. "You stay behind me." Vanessa looked at him like he was crazy. "You clearly forgot who taught your security team how to fight." For the first time in days, Ethan almost smiled, but the tension returned fast, because they heard Emma screaming, "Mom!" Vanessa lost control. She ran inside. That was her mistake. The warehouse doors slammed shut behind them. Metal chains locked automatically. Then lights turned on, and Vanessa froze. Emma was tied to a chair, crying, terrified, but alive. Vanessa rushed forward, then stopped. Trip wires, explosives. The entire floor was rigged. Marcus stepped out slowly, clapping and smiling. "You really are predictable." Vanessa looked ready to kill him. "Let my daughter go." Marcus laughed. "You embarrassed me in front of everyone. You made me look weak." Vanessa screamed. "You kidnapped a child because of your ego?" Marcus leaned closer. "No, Then dozens of armed men appeared, Mafia soldiers. That's when Vanessa realized Marcus wasn't the real mastermind. He was working for someone bigger. And then the real Mafia boss appeared, Antonio Moretti, one of the most feared crime bosses in the country. Ethan's face changed instantly. You, Antonio smiled. You should have taken my deal. Years earlier, Antonio offered Ethan a money laundering partnership. Ethan refused, then helped federal authorities destroy part of Antonio's operation. Antonio wanted revenge. And Marcus? Marcus wanted money and pride. Dangerous combination. Antonio looked at Vanessa. You created a very inconvenient problem. Then he revealed something terrifying. Emma's surgery records, hospital files, Vanessa's home address, every detail of her life. He had been watching her for months. Vanessa nearly collapsed. Marcus smiled. You should have stayed poor. That sentence broke something inside her. But wait, it got worse. Antonio activated a timer. 10 minutes. If Ethan signs over his company, your daughter lives. If not, boom, Emma dies. Vanessa dies. Everyone dies. And Ethan had only minutes to decide. What happened next, no one was prepared for. Ethan stared at the contract. His hands shook. Sign, or lose everyone. Vanessa screamed. Don't do it. Ethan looked at Emma crying, then looked at Vanessa, then signed. Antonio smiled. Wise decision. But Marcus looked confused. Very confused. That was strange. Why wasn't he happy? Then Antonio laughed and revealed the truth. There was never a deal. He pulled out another detonator. I planned to kill all of you anyway. Marcus panicked. What? Antonio looked disgusted. You really thought I respected traitors? Marcus realized too late. He had been used. Vanessa smiled coldly. Feels familiar? Marcus panicked and attacked Antonio's men. Massive gunfight. Chaos exploded. Bullets everywhere. People screamed. Explosions shook the warehouse. Ethan untied Emma. Vanessa fought like a monster. Years of underground fighting returned. She dropped men one after another. Broken bones. Knockouts. Pure rage. But then Marcus grabbed Emma. Vanessa froze. He held a gun to Emma's head. Dropped a weapon. Vanessa bayed instantly. She dropped everything. Marcus laughed like a madman. You should have stayed in your place. Emma cried. Mom. Vanessa's heart shattered. Then Marcus revealed his final betrayal. He was the one who leaked Ryan's military route years ago. Vanessa stopped breathing. What? Marcus smiled. That mission your husband died on? I sold the information. Vanessa screamed in pain. Her entire world collapsed. Her husband's death wasn't random. Marcus caused it. Everything became silent. Then Marcus whispered, I destroyed your husband. Now I destroy your daughter. And pulled the trigger. But Ethan moved first. He tackled Marcus. Gunshot. Silence. Then screaming. Vanessa turned and saw Ethan bleeding on the floor. He had taken the bullet meant for Emma. And in that moment, everything changed forever. Vanessa screamed Ethan's name. Everything around her became a blur. Gunfire. Smoke. Screaming. Emma crying. None of it mattered. Ethan was bleeding on the warehouse floor. And Marcus was trying to escape. Vanessa's entire body shook. Not from fear. From rage. Pure rage. Emma crawled toward Ethan crying. Please don't die. Ethan forced a weak smile, then looked at Vanessa and whispered, Finish this. That was all she needed. Marcus ran deeper into the warehouse. Vanessa chased him, ignoring bullets, ignoring pain, ignoring everything. Marcus reached the rooftop. Rain poured heavily. Helicopters circled above. Police were arriving. Marcus was trapped, but he still laughed. Even now, even cornered. You lost your husband. He laughed harder. You almost lost your daughter. And now you'll lose him too. Vanessa walked toward him slowly. Rain soaked her face, but her expression was calm. Terrifyingly calm. You should have stopped talking. Marcus pulled a knife and charged. Big mistake. Vanessa dodged, broke his wrist, then his knee. then slammed him into concrete. Marcus screamed. But Vanessa wasn't done. Years of pain exploded. Her husband, her daughter, her suffering, everything poured into that fight. Marcus begged, actually begged, "Please." Vanessa leaned close. Did Ryan beg too? Marcus froze. Then she delivered one final strike. Marcus crashed through weak rooftop glass and fell into the lower warehouse floor. He survived. Barely, but both legs were destroyed. Police arrested him while he screamed in pain. And Antonio? Federal agents captured him trying to escape through underground tunnels. His empire collapsed overnight. But Vanessa's biggest fear remained Ethan. She rushed back downstairs. Doctors were fighting to save him. Emma held Vanessa tightly. Is he going to die? Vanessa couldn't answer because she didn't know. Hours later, doctors finally walked out. Ethan survived. The bullet narrowly missed his heart. Vanessa collapsed in tears. For the first time, she allowed herself to feel everything. Weeks later, Emma successfully had her surgery. And this time, Vanessa cried tears of relief. When Emma woke up, she smiled weakly. Can we go to the beach now? Vanessa laughed through tears. Yes. And then someone walked into the hospital room. Ethan, alive, weak, but smiling. Emma immediately hugged him. You saved me. Ethan looked emotional, then turned toward Vanessa and handed her documents. She frowned. What is this? Ethan smiled. Your future. Inside were ownership papers. Ethan gave Vanessa a major partnership role in Blackwood Security. She was now part owner. Vanessa stared at him in shock. Why? Ethan answered softly. Because you protected my life and gave me something money never could. She whispered, What's that? Ethan looked at Emma, then back at Vanessa. A reason to fight for more than business. Months later, Vanessa launched a women's elite protection program. She hired struggling mothers, female veterans, women people underestimated. She gave them opportunities society denied them. And Marcus? He spent the rest of his life in prison. Broken, alone, forgotten. Every interview he gave blamed Vanessa, but nobody cared. As for Vanessa, she finally took Emma to the beach. Emma ran for the first time in her life. Vanessa cried watching her. Ryan's final words echoed in her mind. Protect our little girl. She smiled at the sky. I did. And somewhere in that peaceful moment, Vanessa realized something. Sometimes people laugh at you because they think your struggle made you weak. But sometimes your pain creates the strongest version of you. Never underestimate someone fighting for people they love, especially a mother with nothing left to lose. If you were Vanessa, would you have forgiven Marcus or done worse?